Hello, thank you for clicking through to this video where I'm going to give you some useful tips before you buy a used chainsaw. So throughout the video I shall be showing you what to look out for on the saw itself in order to get the best buy for your money. The one thing I advise to do for safety reasons before we do look at any saw in any detail is to make sure it's in the off position, because when you're checking things out and you're pulling the recoil over, you don't want any chance of it starting, regardless of the brand. After you've done a good visual check, you've checked nothing's hanging off, nothing's broken on the outside, the little buttons are present, the caps, the recoil's there, that the chain brake's not broken, and everything seems to be in place. One of the first things I'd do, I'd want to make sure it's got compression. I'd want to make sure the engine turns over. So I'd pull the recoil rope, and if it bounces like that, and it feels like it's got compression, great. If it pulls up really easy, then you could say there's no compression. Either that or there's a problem in there with the recoil. Another thing I'd then look for is fuel. Normally, as soon as you take the cap off, you can smell whether the fuel's stale or whether it smells quite fresh. When we check the fuel filter, we'll know then whether it's been looked after recently. You can use a set of long nose pliers, or you can use a pick like this. You can also use just a normal screwdriver, but what you basically want, you want to feel for that fuel pipe. Once you know you've got it, just pull up like that. There we go, and there's the pipe along with the fuel filter. Normally the pipe will stretch enough for you to take the filter out. We can pull the filter off like that, and a good indicator really is to blow in the top end of the filter there. That blew fuel out quite okay, so that's not really that blocked. The fuel itself in this one doesn't really smell old and degraded, it smells quite fresh. So we'll put that back on, push it back in. So we know at least on this particular saw that it's had fresh fuel in recently. The fuel filter's okay, and now we can look further. The next thing I'd look for, although there seems to be compression, I'd want to look inside this engine quickly, because sometimes there can still be a considerable amount of compression, but there's still scoring on the piston. So it's always best to have a look. Of course, you don't want to buy a saw that has got a scored piston. So let's have a look inside the engine quickly. There's a quick way we do that. We turn it round so we can see the exhaust, and you've normally got a couple of nuts or bolts. On this particular one, we've got 2 nuts and we need an 8mm spanner. I know it seems quite a lot before you buy something, but you really want to know before you buy it, before you part with your money really. The person you buy it off might not know that the pistons are scored or anything like that, so they could be genuine in selling you something that they think's okay, but you yourself, you don't want to be wasting your money on something that will go wrong on you pretty soon. Normally, if a seller's got nothing to hide, they won't mind you just quickly popping the exhaust off anyway and just doing these few checks. It only takes minutes. So let's pop this off so they're nice and loose now. So we take the front piece off the exhaust, and then the exhaust should be nice and loose and it should just slide off. There should be a gasket behind this. Obviously I've managed to take that off as well without taking the top off to save some extra time. And then what we want to do is look down there. You can see through, right through into the exhaust port. That looks okay. There's no score in there. There's no damage on the piston or on the piston ring. Okay, we'll have another look down there and see it working. I'm just turning the engine over there with this recoil handle and rope, and you can see it's all in good condition. And if we pull the piston down, we can see right in the back of the cylinder there, doesn't look scored, doesn't look damaged, and we can see the front of the piston there isn't damaged. Because it will be the front there that goes first. If there isn't enough oil in the fuel, then it'll start to get hot there and basically try and weld together. We call that metal transfer, and it causes scoring. I'll give you an example of what scoring is. This engine's evidently got scoring there. You can see all them scores running up the piston, over the piston ring, and you can guarantee the pot itself will be the same, the walls of the cylinder. So that's something to look for. Right, well we can put the exhaust back on now. Just make sure the gasket is in there that fit between the cylinder and the exhaust. Obviously we want to respect the saw because it's not really ours yet. We haven't really paid for it yet, hopefully at this stage we're just checking. So we put it back to its original state before we came. The next thing I would do to check the saw, I would quickly just take this side recoil cover off to see if there's any play in the crankshaft bearings. Depending on the make, this is an F-cone, this has got 4. Doesn't take too long to take off, just a matter of minutes. Okay, they're nice and loose. See if we can pull this up. Try and keep the bolts in there. This is the flywheel here, and what I want to look for is, I want to look for any up and down movement in the flywheel. So I'll get it each side and I'll push up and push down, push up, push down. Obviously there's going to be movement in a turning motion, but up and down movement. And in this particular one, there's no up and down movement. The shaft comes through the bearing. On top of the bearing, there are crank seals that keep the pressure inside the engine. And if there's movement up or down, then the seals can't seal that pressure and the machine will never run right. If it starts at all, it will sound like it's running really lean of fuel and revving high then stopping, that sort of thing. It can't get the right air-fuel mixture inside the engine. And whilst it's off, we can have a look at everything else. We can look in there and we can see down, see if there's anything hanging off. There's the magneto there, the coil pack that creates the spark when the flywheel runs past it there. That all looks okay, that's all intact. Looks okay from this point of view. So we'll get the recoil again, and whilst it's off we can have a quick look. So I'll make sure that the bolts fall out okay if they do. Okay, we may as well look inside here, and we can see there when we pull the recoil, it turns there. These little notches on the gears here contact these starter pawls and allows for a ratchet action, and then turns the flywheel. So this all looks okay, and it's all springing back okay. Nothing hanging off. The starter cord looks okay, although that's easy enough to change. That can go back on. Now that's back on, I would check the other side. So I'll turn it round and check this side now. Now I don't always take this off, it'll just create more work for yourself and more time, but you can do. You can just undo them 2 bolts and pop this off. What I do, I turn it upside down and I can see the chain now coming onto the sprocket. I can see what type of sprocket it is. I can see the chain brake is there. It doesn't look like anything's burnt through. You can, like I say, take this off and check playing the crank bearings this side as well. Be careful how you do this, and it's probably best to wear gloves, but you can gently move the chain to make sure the chain's moving freely in there, and you can see the sprocket moving down there. That's okay. Now you want to make sure this chain brake activates. Under no circumstances would I recommend you use any saw without the chain brake working, because you're going to really have to have the chain brake working anyway. That means if you buy the saw and it isn't working when you buy it, to get this chain brake working again will be extra cost to you. So I'd always make sure the chain brake's working. On this particular one, it isn't. It's not actually clicking forward. You shouldn't be able to move the chain like that. So under no circumstances would I run this saw and use it. After looking at the chainsaw in the detail I have done so far and seeing that the engine's okay, other than the chain brake, I'd be more inclined now to think that I was going to buy this saw. I would just check one last thing. I'd just like to take this back off here to check that the carburettor is in there okay, doesn't look physically damaged, and the air filter, etc. I'll just take a quick look. On this particular one there's 1 screw there, but on various models there could be a couple of screws. On some there's just a turning action of a special lever or a knob. Okay, let's lift it off. It's okay. We can see the air filter here. Looks a little bit messy, but nothing more than can be cleaned up. And it looks like there's no damage to the spark plug cap. I would change a spark plug anyway if I bought it. I look down here and I can see the fuel pipes and the electric wires are all okay. They're present and correct. No damage, another pipe there. I may as well take the air filter off now I'm down this far so I can have a look inside the carburettor and up through. This is the carburettor. Let's have a look at that. You can see that looks okay. We'll pull the choke lever here. It's all moving okay. Pulling the throttle and everything's moving okay on the carb there. Doesn't look like there's any damage on that one. We'll put the air filter back on. Just have one last good look around all underneath to make sure there's no cracks, no fuel leaking anywhere. Make sure the AV mounts are okay, the anti-vibration mounts. They aren't broke. Sometimes they break across here or across here. Yeah, the trigger, all moving okay. The on and off button's working. Okay, so those are the checks I do, and I've had success with those checks in the past, and I've bought a lot of chainsaws, believe me, and they've always been okay for me. I'm not saying I've covered everything. You could actually go to town covering absolutely everything on these chainsaws. You've got to think of time. But if you've done them basic checks I've gone through, you've got a good chance that everything will be okay. But of course I can't guarantee everything, and whether you do actually get the saw running or not at the time, if you've done them checks, you could almost guarantee, give or take a few circumstances, that this saw will be okay with a little bit of TLC. You know that you've spent your money right. And I'd like to personally thank you for watching this whole video through to the end, and if you do want to watch the full version of this video, then the link should be just here at the side. Please also have a look down at the description, the information I've got down there for you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon. Thank you for watching.